What's going on, everybody? This is the Idol Breakdown. I'm your host, Clark Beckham. We have a jam-packed show tonight. Top 13. Let's get started.
Staying up, sleeping in when you wanna.
We have the mentor, the great Alan Stone, or as he refers to himself, Uncle Al. I'm a big fan. If you haven't, I'm literally wearing his shirt right now that I bought at his concert like 8-10 years ago. If you don't know who Alan Stone is, he's your favorite musician's favorite musician. I got to open for Alan Stone back in the day, and when he's in town, I'll hit him up, and he's gracious enough to let me backstage and to say hello. He is as seen on TV. He is as advertised. He's a very, very loving person. Wonderful guy. Let's start with Elise. Elise is in a tough spot, and I'm actually pretty worried about her because first is the worst when it comes to placement. You don't want to be first. You want to be the pimp spot is what we refer to whoever goes last, which went to EM, and we'll talk about that more. But Elise, she's got the attitude, she's got the voice, she's killing it, she's doing everything right. And the weirdest thing happens. She's so good, it becomes generic. It actually becomes, dare I say, forgettable, because every box is checked. But there's no extra thing there, at least for me. And it's this weird thing, and I feel bad saying it because I don't even know what my note would be for her if she was like a student of mine. Like I don't know. You're freaking fantastic, and I don't know what to tell you, but I'm worried that she's fallen into a generic place because she's so good. Oliver Steele.
Love is the answer, at least for most of the questions in my heart. Like, why are we here? Where do we go? And how come it's so hard?
Now, if you were to tell me that you're on American Idol's Top 26, the first time the judges are voting, huge cuts coming, and the song that you choose is Better Together, especially with a big voice like Oliver's, I guarantee all the producers would think, really? Better Together is the song that you want to pick for this? Because this big cut, the first time America votes, and there's 26 people, it's so easy to get overshadowed or forgotten about, especially when you're second, you're near the beginning of the show. That's not typically the song you would think would work. But Oliver is so good, it doesn't matter. As long as he believes in the song, so will we. This is the best I've ever heard the song, including Jack Johnson, in my opinion. Guitar is fantastic. It feels so good, which might be the thing that pushes him forward more and more. Typically, performances on American Idol wow you. They wow the audience. And so when you're thinking, there's no combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard, and that's about as high as the song goes, thinking that's not going to work. But it feels so good, and he's such a, like this, it's so tangible, his artistry, that itself wows people, makes people feel so vibey and groovy and good, that's going to propel people to vote for him in a way that couldn't have been seen by anyone but Oliver, which is a mark of a true artist on a reality TV show. Matt Wilson.
It's always on a night like tonight. I thank God you could read my mind.
Matt is killing. I was so happy about this performance because he's had the goods all along. But since his audition, I hadn't really heard him execute something. And this was This was the day that changed. I loved him singing this song. And Katie was like, man, when you were on audition, you didn't have any confidence. Now you do. Almost every time they say something like that, I kind of call BS on it. But I'm actually behind it this time because he was kind of like, oh, shucks, look at me when he was singing in his audition. And maybe that's just because first time on camera and it's really nerve-wracking. This time, singing right into the eyes of his bride and getting it too. Just looking like a star, looking like Usher up there and sounding like him too. Also, the wife stuff helps because we don't vote. This is who we vote for. We vote for people we love. That's what will make us actually pick up the phone and text 5 to 2134, whatever the number is. That's why people get frustrated when like the best singer doesn't win. The best singing doesn't compel us to vote as much as the person does who we just fall in love with them. Sometimes a voice can make us do that, but even Ian, who we love his voice. It's his story and his personality and his humanity that makes us fall in love. That's why he's got the pimp spot. That's why he's the most viral contestant of the season so far on the internet. You vote for people you love, and he sang really well. And then the whole wife thing and brought her up on stage. You start crying. That stuff helps. And it's totally authentic. Doesn't seem at all like he's playing the game. I'm just telling you, that probably did as much or more for his voting than the actual song. Kyra.
I often tell myself that we can be more than just friends. I know you think that if we move too soon, it'll all end. I live in misery when you're not around. And I won't be satisfied till we're taking those vows.
Okay, so she has stage presence too. She just walk around with a mic in her hand, no mic stand, no bass, no piano, no instrument, and just looks like a star doing that too. It's just annoying. It's annoying. It's like, yeah, great. You're a fantastic singer. You've got gorgeous tone and then gritty, gross tone in the best way. You can play bass. You can play piano. You could do all these things. You're fantastic. And then you have stage presence like that. It's annoying. Kyra's up there in my top 10 for a reason. If I had to say something, which I will, of critique, she continues to do these runs that she can't nail. And when you're someone that good, that can nail seemingly everything, my advice would be, don't let anyone know that you can't kill something, that there's something out there vocally that you can't just destroy. Because if you don't show us that, we're going to believe that there isn't anything that you can't do. This performance, there was one run, I think it was on the word don't. I think it was a 5-note run, and the band was killing. It was not obvious. It was so just kind of thrown out there, and you probably missed it. It's so tiny, but I've just noticed it only because I've noticed her doing that. I think every performance we've heard from her. PJ.
Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden.
We got some groovy musical taste in our contestants here. PJ picks a great song. The BGVs, which means background vocals, are killing this. Oh my gosh, they sound so good. The band is killing it. I love the message of the song. I've never heard the song before, but I know Jill Scott. And this is a great song. I don't know why I wasn't dying over his performance of it. I loved how he was, I think like Katie said, like preaching the end of this song. But I just didn't get the juice that I got from him in his audition yet. Still, since then, through Hollywood and even now, I'm not going crazy like I was. And there is something about being able to find the song and understand the arrangement and the vocal arrangement it's going to take to execute and perform and shock people in a good way. That's a whole different skill by itself, and not everybody has it. And I hope he gets through, and I hope he sings another song like the Madison Ward song and just smashes, because he's incredibly talented and passionate. I just want that focused and put on the right path of a really good song and arrangement. And I don't know why I just wasn't into this one. Then we have Alan Stone sing. And now, mind you, we have like 5 of our best singers of the whole season in a row. Elise, Oliver Steele, Matt Wilson, Kyra, and PJ. And then Alan Stone sings and we go, oh, that's what a star sounds like. That's what a pro sounds like. Got it. So relaxed. What I see in Alan when he plays is he's so in the flow of things. He's just enjoying the moment fully, like he was born to do exactly what he's doing. He's not frazzled. He's in love with every element of the song and the video and American Idol and Hawaii and his entire environment, everything that's going on. And he's been doing that song forever on tour. And he is a road warrior. He's constantly on tour and has a ton of experience and is just a lovely person. So that all equals what we got to hear. But it was just a lot of times, the celebrity mentor will sing their little song and they get wiped off the stage by the contestants. A lot of times. We're like, that's the celebrity that's who they're looking up to? Like, what is going on? Not this case. Zachariah. Yes. Come on. Come on.
Please come back where you belong. Lucy. Please come back where you belong. I have a finger to your baby, so you better not leave me alone. I woke up this morning, Lucy was not in sight. I must have bumped my brain up, but all the neck was tight. Lucy, please come back where you belong. Hey, baby. To your baby, so you better not leave me alone. Come back where you belong. Come on.
Yo, get this dude on a stage near me now. Take my money. Just do the American Idol tour, and I don't care if it's just him. I just want to see him on stage live. The energy that this guy brings. What's so special about Zachariah is he does what everyone secretly wants to do, but is too scared to do. The dance moves and the points and the Michael Jackson moves and then the Elvis leg shake thing. It's what all of us have home videos of us doing as kids. And then when we get to a certain age, we're embarrassed to do it and we're kind of just told it's not cool, or we pick up on social cues that it's not cool, or made fun of, and we stop. Zachariah just never stopped. And paired with that is this god of a voice that he has. I just have to see him. He's so fantastic. The band gave him everything that they had. They did this really sick chromatic walk down thing, transition, turnaround that was nasty. So this song only has 3 chords originally. It's here, here, it goes back and forth, and then the turnaround adds this chord, back to here, and then back to here. Now they're adding for the blues effect. But that's really it. But they add some extra spice when the turnaround comes. It's Lucille, back to where we belong. Wait. So there's all that space before they hit the G. So they just fill that space with Lucille, get back to where we belong. Then they went into halftime. That was sick. Halftime is like if the song is halftime would be, and it kind of makes you just bob your head, and it makes the groove so heavy. And then they did like a praise break intro, and then full praise break. He starts doing a shout dance. Like, where did this guy learn to shout? And then he says later, I can't do the same thing twice. I've tried, I just can't do it. That's because, like I said about Alan Stone, he is in the flow. He's in the river. He doesn't find, creativity works this way best. It's not that you do something and then you try to recreate that statue. It's not a constant. It's instead you jump in the river and let it take you wherever you want. And then you get out. And if you wait 5 seconds, the water's already changed in the river. It's flown past and you jump into something completely new. That flow, that's the good stuff. And that's what Zachariah's in. Mariah.
I recognize that look
Hey.
in your eyes. You should probably leave.
Oof. This was my favorite performance of Mariah's the whole season. Especially the first verse. There's one part where they got really tight on her going into the chorus, and the rasp and control, and she's doing like some like lip movement stuff, and it was just like, it was so gross. So good. And it totally lined up with what she was doing vocally. She was nasty. This is my favorite performance from her for sure. Wasn't 100% on that top note at the end, like that last chorus, a big moment. Missed that a little bit. It was a little yelly. That's really hard to do, especially when you're excited. It takes a lot of focus and control and technique, and it's hard to focus on those things like technique and control when you're just about to explode. You're so excited and the band's killing and people are cheering and you've had a great performance. So that takes a little bit of experience and discipline, but she was really, really good. Emma.
Let me by your side. I lay by your side.
This was great. Not my favorite performance from her, but it was great. If Broadway isn't an issue anymore, then why are you still talking about it? First of all, it's never an issue. She's not changed her voice. She sings exactly how she sang in her audition. And if you keep bringing it up, how she dropped Broadway. She didn't drop Broadway. She wasn't on Broadway and then said, I'm leaving. I'm dropping it so I can go to American Idol. And then when Luke said, it's not a problem anymore, then stop talking about it. Don't get me on that train again. This is what Emma does really well. She executes. When she has a moment she wants to make vocally, it's very rare that she doesn't pull it off. She just finds these ways to finesse these beautiful moments. She did a run that was so right. Let's talk about Warren.
But I said fire to rain, watching pour as I touch it.
Was it crazy about the band arrangement? I know he's doing an Adele song and they tried to make it, if this song was written for Warren, what would it sound like? But I just wish they would have done it straight and just let him sing. I thought the guitar riff was a little contrived and distracting to me and didn't really fit the song super well. I will say Warren is mad consistent. Dude is the same strong voice every single time. I love, personally, that he didn't throw his hat because it stands for something really big. During this show, I'm going to make a video that's just a message to contestants. So if you're a contestant, you should listen to this and pay attention to what Warren did. During the show, you're going to get mentors and you're going to get producers. You already have gotten producers telling you what they think you should do. They're big deal producers, and you're just somebody from wherever you're from who didn't have a career before this, likely. It's hard to just look at the producers and be like, nah, I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, this is American Idol, which means the contestant has the final say every time, period, no questions asked. But when the producer says you should do this, or the celebrity mentor says you should do this, what that means is you should take it into consideration, deep consideration, because they might be right. They're often right, and you might be wrong, and you're often wrong. But take that in, weigh the two options, decide what's best, and then do whatever you think is best, period, no matter what. And that's what Warren did. There's a lot of pressure to throw the hat, and he's like, I'm not throwing the hat. Sentimental, got a picture of my girlfriend in it. And I hope that lasts for song choice, for whether you play an instrument or not, for whether you're dancing, whatever that looks like through the whole show. Every contestant needs to know. Whatever advice you get, take it to heart and understand you might be wrong and the producer might be right. Decide between yourself, give both options a fair shot, figure out which one's best, and then do it with no regrets and no questions asked. Nailah.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Making love with you is all I wanna do. Loving you is more than just a dream come true.
I want to say her name 1,000 times now that I can say it correctly. I think this is my favorite performance of the whole night. I think it was. It reminded me of Emily King at the top, which is a great artist. If you guys don't know about Emily King, and if you like Nailah's song, you should check out Emily King. She nailed the whistle tone. Tons of pressure because we all were talking about it. It was in the pre-performance package. She talked about it again in the interview. So all the pressure was there for her to nail it, and she nailed it. The control she has with it is crazy. I don't know the mechanics of whistle tone, but she does. The band is in their bag. The band is so in tune with this stuff. It's like the bass player's favorite bass that he brought is the perfect bass tone for this kind of music. The drums were tuned, the toms, you actually tune drums like the toms and the snare and pick certain cymbals that suit styles of music the best. Now, whatever he has is good for everything. But you can tell when they play this type of stuff, this is what the drummer wants to play. This is what the bass player wants to play. This is what they really love doing, and it really sticks out to me, which is an advantage for the contestant. The general tone that she has, the soul, the just touch of Nat King Cole that just pops in every once in a while is so cool and unique. Never heard anybody do that with like the way that she does it. She is flying into my top 10. I can guarantee you that. My top 10 is going to be announced after the next episode, because I have to hear everybody, even though I just want to make a new one now. When I do that, I'll make a video of why I chose who I chose and where they are. And that's going to be available for members only. So I talked about a watch party. So if you're a member, you get to watch a live stream with me and often Chanley and our dog Bruce watching American Idol. Now I mute during the show, so there's no feedback thing in your computer and your TV. But then I unmute in the commercial and we talk about it. And then during the show, you can see my reaction of things. If that's of interest to you, you can become a member. Oliver Steele's a member. Ashley Tankard's a member. You should be a member too. You can join by hitting the button in the bottom right hand of this screen. You have to be on your computer though. It's $5 a month. It's like a Starbucks drink a month. Haven.
Oh, baby.
her low tone sounds like the radio. It's so impressive when someone has tons of energy in their voice when they're singing low in the bottom of the range and they're singing quietly. She gave us everything in this, things that we haven't seen from her. She gave us big notes. She gave us the soft, sweet falsetto that we have learned to know and love from her. This was a very impressive performance. The reason I have a confused face on is because the judges were like, especially Lionel, it's like, man, I just wanted you to like dance. Did she not dance? I just wish, you see that over there, that's the left and the right of stage. You can use it. Did she not walk all over the stage? Am I missing, did my TV screw up? Are we talking about the same person? He goes, you can go up in front. Yo, she went up in front and did like a dance, like a choreographed dance. Luke too was like, oh, I just wish you would have kept going. Did she not? This was so confusing to me. I thought Luke was like, I wanted this to be like a dancing teeny bopper thing. First of all, it doesn't have to be that. If that's not her, then it doesn't have to be dancey teeny bop thing. But it was. She did that. She didn't have to. Her thing seems to be piano, brilliant songwriting, but then she showed she could do this, but all they could say is, I wish you could do that, but she just did it. I didn't get that. I thought she was great. Now, Groove Crew members in the watch party were very polar on this. There's some on my side that loved it. A lot of people were not into it. Let me know, am I crazy? Lucy.
What's love got to do with it? What's love with a second hand and mouse shine?
I thought Lucy was actually rocking out a little too hard. If you would have watched this on mute, you would have thought we were watching Lucy sing a Def Leppard song. She was jumping. Now, there's a lot of pent up energy to this moment, and there's a lot of hyping up that the producers are doing. They're like, come on, we got to give that energy. The crowd's going crazy. The band, it's the first time they've been in this environment. They're in Hawaii. It means a lot to her. I just think she had too much energy. Now, she didn't miss a note. A lot of times when people give too much energy and they're jumping around, their voice goes jumping around right with them. But not Lucy. I think she nailed every note. She didn't give me anything more than what was just there in the song, if that makes sense. I said this last time, but I'm just not into the let's rock out, let's get the crowd going and jumping and touching everybody. Yeah, let's go. Wow, look at how the crowd and the energy. And I just rather hear you do something musically unique. And I just want to hear your voice do something really good and touching. The jumping around, like anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. I just want the good stuff. And she's got the good stuff. And she showed it. I just could have had a little more. I'm going to ask you to do something that I've never asked you to do. I'm going to ask you to like this video. Now, why would I ask that? The reason I haven't asked you that is because personally, I get annoyed when I'm watching a video and they're like, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. But I'm going to ask you to do those things. But I want to tell you why. These videos, what we've built is so strong. The consistency that you guys come and watch and comment and react to these things. I feel really good about the quality of these that you guys have pushed me to make. There's some videos doing what I'm doing that are getting 10 times the amount of views that we're getting. So how do we grow? It's actually easier than sharing. The best way to grow, as soon as YouTube sees us liking this video a lot quickly, like on the premiere, especially because it's immediately live. YouTube's like, ooh, we got a good video here. Let's show more people this in the suggested video box, which is the vast majority of views come from the suggested video clicking. I can see that in my algorithms. Same thing with subscribers. Ian.
Everything will be just fine as long as you stay by my side. Don't let go.
Ian has the pimp spot. The pimp spot refers to the very last spot on the show. Usually goes to the people that the producers of the show are trying to push the most. Now, a lot of people would say this and talk about that with kind of like a conspiracy theory tone to their voice. But listen, as a contestant, your job is to convince the producers that you are their best shot of getting the highest ratings they've ever gotten so that they put you on every episode for longer than anybody else. That's really what you're trying to do as a contestant. You're not just trying to make it to the next round and get votes. You're trying to convince the producers that you are the most entertaining part of the whole season. Because when the producers love you and they want to push you, they don't miss. They almost never try to push somebody and America rejects them. It doesn't happen. It doesn't, because they pick well. They've got good taste. Like Ian. This dude's voice is silkier than silk. Just the moment he starts to sing. And you know what the difference was between this performance and all the last performances? He is feeling himself and he's confident. He's in his hometown. He's around his family. He's comfortable. At this point, all the contestants are best friends and are having a ball with each other. He knows this song like the back of his hand. He starts it off by himself, so there's no extra elements to worry about. And I gotta tell you, the confidence looks good on him. Before, it seemed that he was self-conscious, really nervous. Man, all these great singers are singing these crazy high notes and whistle tones and all these runs and crazy stuff I can't do. You know, the typical comparison thing that almost every Idol contestant does. And he was holding on to his silky voice and his talent and that X factor as a lifeline to pull himself up out of his nervousness. Now, in his confidence, he's using that X factor, that silky voice, his talent, he's using that as a weapon. He is weaponized. Instead of a life raft, now his voice is a weapon and he is cutting through. Katie said it best when she said, your voice is a vacation. And then Lionel says, you're the first Hawaiian contestant? First I was like, well, I'll give him a break because maybe they're thinking this, because the first person I thought of was Jasmine Trias, season 3, way back. But I remember her. She was from Hawaii. She made it really far. And I was like, well, I guess they just mean since it's been on ABC. And then I remember in the watch party, it was like, Leah Hona. Just a couple years ago, Leah Hona made it, and she was from Hawaii. So I can't believe they left that in, because they could have easily edited that out. Unless the members are wrong, which if then in that case, I blame them entirely. Just kidding. I take full responsibility of everything I say here. All these things really help the channel. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm Clark Beckham, and it sure would be a happy day if you would leave us a message.